She entered the elevator, pressed all the buttons, hid, appeared to speak to someone, then vanished. Her name was Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old student with everything to live for. And what happened to her inside the Cecil Hotel, a building with a deeply disturbing history of deaths, violence, and dark coincidences, still defies explanation. This is not just a true crime case. It's a chilling mystery at the crossroads of mental illness, digital footprints, and a hotel known for tragedy. Stick with us. You'll need to see what the police missed. Before her name became a viral headline, Elisa Lam was simply a young woman navigating life's turbulent early 20s. Born in Vancouver, British Columbia, to immigrant parents from Hong Kong, Elisa was a thoughtful and introspective soul. She attended the University of British Columbia, though she was not enrolled at the time of her death. Her blog on Tumblr, Nouvelle Nouveau, provided a haunting digital footprint filled with poetry, pop culture musings, fashion inspiration, and deeply vulnerable reflections on her struggles with bipolar disorder and depression. Through her words, we see a young woman trying to find her place in a chaotic world, often oscillating between hope and despair. She wrote openly about her mental health, giving followers a raw, emotional window into her mind. It's easy to forget amid the viral theories and memes, Elisa Lam was real. A daughter, a friend, someone just trying to cope. Have you ever kept an online journal? Drop a comment below if you've ever used Tumblr. Elisa's posts are more than content. They're a chronicle of a troubled but brilliant soul. When Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel on January 26, 2013, she likely didn't know its full history. Few guests ever do. Nestled in downtown Los Angeles, the hotel was once a glamorous destination in the 1920s, but over the years it decayed into a haven for the desperate and the dangerous. The building's legacy is steeped in horror, so much so that it inspired seasons of horror fiction and true crime content alike. The Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles has a documented history of violent incidents, suicides, and associations with serial killers, notably Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, who prowled LA during the 1980s and lived on the 14th floor while committing unspeakable crimes. Jack Unterweger, an Austrian journalist turned serial killer who used the hotel as his base while murdering sex workers in 1991. Some even say the hotel itself is cursed, and now Elisa Lam's name would be added to the grim ledger of its past. Originally placed in a shared room, Elisa's erratic behavior, reported by roommates, led to her being moved to a room alone. She documented her time in LA with photos at tourist hotspots, bookstore visits, and cheerful posts. But behind the lens, something darker may have been brewing. Ever stayed in a hotel that felt off? Let us know in the comments. The Cecil's eerie vibe isn't just in stories, it's in its very walls. Elisa Lam was last seen on January 31, 2013. After she failed to check out of her hotel room and her parents couldn't reach her, they reported her missing to the Los Angeles Police Department on February 1st. LAPD conducted extensive searches of the hotel, employing scent tracking dogs and reviewing surveillance footage. Elisa's belongings, including her laptop and clothing, were found in her room, with no signs of forced entry. While the rooftop was part of the search, it's unclear whether the water tanks were inspected during these initial efforts. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance grew increasingly perplexing, leading to widespread public interest and speculation. On February the 13th, nearly 2 weeks after she vanished, the LAPD released a crucial piece of evidence: elevator surveillance footage of Elisa, captured on January 31st. What the world saw was baffling and terrifying. In the 2.5 minutes video, Elisa presses multiple buttons, steps in and out of the elevator, hides in the corner, peers into the hallway, then begins making erratic gestures with her hands, almost as if she were communicating with an invisible force. The elevator door remains open far longer than expected, adding another surreal element. Was she hallucinating? Was someone chasing her off screen? The internet erupted with theories. Some claimed schizophrenia-related psychosis. Others swore the elevator was malfunctioning or tampered with. A subset latched onto the elevator game theory, a supposed Korean ritual that, if followed, can transport you to another dimension. Though no evidence links Elisa to the ritual, online sleuths noted eerie parallels to the so-called elevator game. What's your theory on the elevator footage? Paranormal, psychological, mechanical? We're watching the comments. Drop yours below. As hotel guests complained of low water pressure, black-tinted water, and an awful taste, maintenance staff made a chilling discovery. On February 19th, Elisa Lam's nude body was found floating inside one of the 4 large water tanks on the roof. How did she get there? The tanks were over 8 feet tall, with heavy metal lids. The rooftop was allegedly secured by a locked alarm door, though police access raised questions about how secure it truly was. There was no fixed ladder, only a portable one used by staff, raising questions about how she got in. Conflicting reports emerged. Early speculation claimed the lid was shut, but the worker who found her stated it was open. The inconsistency only deepened suspicion. No clothes were found inside the tank. They were discovered nearby, covered in sand-like particulate. It raised more questions than answers. Would you drink hotel water again after this? Drop a comment if this freaked you out. Real horror doesn't need fiction. It's already happened. The official cause of death was accidental drowning, with bipolar disorder listed as a contributing factor. Prescription meds were found in her system, but some expected levels were missing, suggesting she may not have been fully medicated. There were no signs of trauma, sexual assault, or foul play, but many true crime experts and internet sleuths weren't satisfied. The report raised new questions, especially regarding toxicology gaps and inconsistencies in the timeline. Even more perplexing, why didn't security or hotel staff notice her presence on the roof? How was she missed during earlier searches, even by dogs? Do you believe the official report? Or was something covered up? Leave a comment. Let's break down this mystery together. The death of Elisa Lam sparked a digital frenzy. The viral elevator footage has racked up tens of millions of views. Online sleuths obsessively dissected her behavior, the hotel layout, even slowed down the video frame by frame searching for answers. Netflix released a documentary, reigniting interest years later. Urban explorers snuck into the hotel. Paranormal investigators claimed spiritual interference. And yet, amid all the noise, Elisa the person began to vanish, replaced by a symbol of digital age mystery. We must remember, she wasn't a meme. She wasn't a ghost story. She was a young woman lost to circumstances we may never fully understand. To this day, Elisa Lam's death remains one of the most perplexing cases in recent history. Officially ruled an accidental drowning, the circumstances continue to raise questions. Was her behavior a result of a mental health episode? What explains the peculiarities in the elevator footage? Her story serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of mental health and the mysteries that sometimes elude definitive explanations. If this case resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Remember, some of the most haunting stories are those rooted in reality.